Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to give my review for Impact Wrestling's Victory Road, which was a very, very entertaining show, and if you haven't seen it, go give it a watch. I highly recommend it. So, sorry for the delay for this. I had some plans over the weekend, so I'll cover that a little later. But for now, let's get into the review, and we start off with the X Division title as Kushida, who won Ultimate X at Slammiversary to get this title shot, takes on Lio Rush, the current champion. And honestly, it's pretty much the X Division at its finest. Flip-flopping and flying, which is always good. But there was a lot of ground game. Like, a lot of times, Kushida went for his hoverboard locked, but Lio Rush gets out of it, because they know each other very well. They have wrestled in Japan before, so that's... It definitely shows here in this match. But then, match finish comes after Kushida actually gives the ref a shot to the noggin, although he doesn't go down, which is interesting. Then Lio Rush with the low blow from behind into the final hour to pick up the win and retain his title. Honestly, gonna give this match a thumbs up. This was a very, very entertaining opening match. I hope Impact continues with that. We then get a replay of what happened on the pre-show. Sorry, I don't cover that. Of PCO getting hit by a car, which was driven by Bully Ray. So, Bully can avoid their match coming up later tonight. We'll get into that one. Next up, we got the Knockouts tag team titles on the line as MK Ultra, that's Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich, take on the Shawtourage, which is Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. Honestly, this match was pretty darn good. I do wish it got a little bit more time. But overall, everyone worked really, really well together. Especially Killer Kelly and Savannah Evans. Savannah Evans, from her start in Impact, has really, really gotten better over time. But she could not live up to the finish, which Masha Slamovich hits a snowplow to pick up the victory. We then get PCO kind of lumbering. First PCO, we see him on a stretcher. Doctors are saying, oh, he can't compete tonight. The match is off. Then all of a sudden he sits up. He's like, Bully! Bully! And goes lumbering off to find him. In which, dang. Yeah, I guess that's what they say when he's not human. Clap, 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 clap. And then we get another scene of PCO walking around backstage, Frankenstein monster-like, looking for Bully. Bully then from behind with a couple of steel chair shots. He's like, I'm gonna end you, Carl. I'm gonna stop this match from going down. Pours lighter fluid on him. Lights a match. Looks like he's going in. Then PCO spits some gas right in Bully Ray's face. And Bully runs off. That was honestly really smart of PCO. And we'll get to their match a little bit later. Don't you worry. Next match is a bit of an interesting one. We got Black Taurus taking on the new Crazy Steve, in which, honestly, I love this character. He's got like an outer mask during his entrance. He like rips it in half from the mouth, which is just, it's horror movie-esque. It's so good. Anyway, Taurus on the attack very early on. But then Crazy Steve finds a fork from under the announcer's desk, brings it in, looks like he's going to poke Taurus's eye out. Black Taurus makes him throw it away into the eye gouge, and the big old DDT, which I did miss the name of the finisher. I am sorry, but that's how it ends. With the Crazy Steve victory. We then get a Tommy Dreamer backstage interview, pretty much saying, look, I've been in this position. It's not even a promo, it's an interview where he's saying, yeah, I'm full of emotions, but this isn't going to be a sad thing. I do have nerves, but I'm going to live a life to inspire. And this is the building where I got my start for love for pro wrestling. And if it's going to be my last match, it's a great place to finish up. Which then leads us into title versus career. For the digital media title, it's Kenny King versus Tommy Dreamer. Now, of course, King goes for a lot of the cheap shots, a lot of early roll-ups, but of course Tommy Dreamer gets out of that. Then near kind of the end, Shawn Dean jumps on the apron. He does get involved. He gets thrown out of the match. And while the ref is dealing with that, Heath comes in, hits his finisher. I forget what it's called. I do apologize. To Kenny King. Tommy Dreamer with the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and new digital media champion. It's Tommy Dreamer. This match was okay, to say the least. I know there's a lot of people who are saying, oh, why does Tommy Dreamer have a title in 2023? If this is going to be his last run as an in-ring competitor, let him have it. It's not like he has the Impact World title or anything. It's the digital media title. Not to say it's a meaningless title, but it's not exactly, the big bad title. So, yeah, I'm definitely okay with that. Not the best match on the card, per se. But I do like the emotion behind it, that Tommy Dreamer got a big win in the place where his love for wrestling got started. It's a good story. And he has vowed on social media to defend this title whenever, wherever. So, maybe we see it in other promotions. Hint, nudge, nudge. Next up, the third match in the trilogy. We got Deonna Purrazzo taking on a returning Jordynne Grace. And honestly, Grace goes right for it in the beginning. Just power all the way. Purrazzo does get some stuff in eventually, but Jordynne Grace really overpowers her. Although it was definitely a nice back and forth. Near the end, Grace goes for a muscle buster that gets blocked right into an armbar, which that always gets me. Like how fluid Purrazzo is in the ring. Then we get big old clotheslines, a juggernaut driver, which is a great finisher name for Grace, and your winner, Jordynne Grace. In post-match, they go to shake hands, and I think they do shake hands, actually. So, little respect put on both of them. Definitely a fun match. I think this is one of my favorite matches of the night. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting going forward. Because now we go into the Anything Goes match between PCO and Bully Ray. However, before the match, while Bully Ray's music is playing, he's trying to leave the arena, but is stopped by Santino Marella and a gaggle of security guards. They make him... PCO then catches up to him. They start brawling a little bit. PCO then finally gets him in the ring, and they just set up all kinds of plunder. They got chairs, they got ladders, tables, multiple table spots, which is crazy to think about. One point, Bully Ray tosses PCO over the top rope through a table ringside. PCO then sits up. Bully Ray then looks to leave again. He is then stopped by Santino and security guards who block the entranceway. Bully then slaps Santino, which leads to Santino to bring out Old Faithful. The Cobra Strike gets Bully Ray right between the eyes. Then PCO goes for a PCO assault, but that gets stopped. Then, for whatever reason, there was a Rubik's Cube in which Bully tried to solve it first, but then he threw it away, which... that was interesting. Then we get the cheese grater, and you know where this is going. Right between the wickets of Bully Ray's legs. Bully then gets sit on the table. PCO with a deatomizer through the table. And to pick up the victory. And honestly, yeah, that was an insane match. We'll see how Bully Ray is for Impact 1000, in which we get an interview for that with Eric Young and Scott D'Amore, who are a couple of Impact OGs. They were there on the first episode, which is absolutely crazy to think about. Scott D'Amore then asks, are there any other episodes with 1,000 any shows with 1,000 episodes? I don't think so. Impact hit a milestone, and we're ready to celebrate Thursday. So, if you want to catch, the broadcast of Impact 1000, because they actually taped it on Saturday. So, if you want to watch it, Access TV, you could be a YouTube member, which is like less than $1 a month, which is great. So, if you want to join in, there you go. We then go into the Impact World Tag Team title match as the Rascals, that's Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel, take on the Motor City Machine Guns, that's Alex Shelley, the world champion, and Chris Sabin. And yeah, the Rascals definitely have the advantage early on. Machine Guns aren't really exactly playing nice to each other, including a few blind tags, which, definitely pisses off a few people. Near the end, Trey gets one of the title belts, looks to hit Sabin with it. Ref takes it away. Wentz gets the other one and hits Sabin with it for a 2 count. Wentz then gets the usual spray can. Shelley kicks it out of his hand, and then big hold kick to him. Then eventually the Good Hands come out and stop the ref count. Chris Sabin goes for a cradle shock. That gets blocked for a roll up into a 2 count, in which we then get the spray can into a roll up for the Rascals to retain the tag team titles. I'm definitely okay with this. I could have gone without the Good Hands interference, although I do understand that excels that storyline, because the story going around is that the Good Hands have been helping the Rascals move on in the tournament to get the title shot and to get the titles, honestly. So, I think this is that next step in the story. So, we'll see what happens there. Next up, we got the Knockouts title match as Alicia Edwards challenges Trinity. And I'm going to say this, Alicia Edwards, while maybe not the most phenomenal in-ring worker, she is really, really good and not to be slept on anymore. Although there was a lot of hoopla coming from Eddie Edwards, who is ringside for this match, including trying to hit a Blue Thunder Bomb on Trinity through the table, which brings out Frankie Kazarian and Tracy Brooks, who stops Eddie Edwards, sets him on the table, and then Trinity with a big splash through the table, in which that looked rough. Alicia Edwards then with the kendo stick. She wakes up the ref, tries for a 2 count. And with the full Nelson bomb, your winner, Trinity. I am going to say I feel like that full Nelson bomb as a finish was weird. It was definitely a little out of nowhere, but I'm glad Trinity retained, and I do hope we get some fresh challengers for Trinity. I mean, there's potentially a former one-time champ from the NWA. Hint, hint. Then we get a pretty big announcement as the next inductees into Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. The voices of my fandom. Back in the OG TNA era, when they were on Spike TV, Mike Tenay and Don West. And, that does the heart good. It definitely deserved, and I at least hope Mike Tenay's gonna be there. They were the best announced team in the biz, bar none. And Fine Alamo, we had our main event of the evening. We got Steve Maclin versus Josh Alexander. Now, this match was supposed to go down about this time last year, but Josh Alexander ended up getting hurt. Then not long after that, Maclin won the title, and then he got hurt a little bit after that. So now they're pretty much healed, but apparently the story going around is Alexander re-aggravated his injury, so we'll see if he's 100%. This match was pretty much a Mac classic. I loved every single minute of it. We got counters into counters. We got Josh Alexander kind of middle of the match going for the C4, but he couldn't do it because of his arm. Had Steve Maclin try for a couple Mayhem for Alls, but his knee gives out. It was a lot of good selling. It was a lot of good action. But end of the day, after eventually getting the C4 spike, your winner, Josh Alexander. And as much as I like Alexander getting the win here, I thought Steve Maclin could have used it a bit more. But I digress. We'll probably see them have another match down the line. But yeah, overall, a very excellent show by Impact Wrestling. And it gets me hyped for Impact 1000 this coming Thursday. It's going to be interesting. So, now, a couple of announcements. Tomorrow, I'm going to cover the rest of the week in pro wrestling. That's going to be, honestly, just Ring of Honor and MLW. Because Friday, I actually went out for a little bit. Went to support family member in an event. And then Saturday, I had a movie night. So, no SmackDown, no Rampage, no Collision. So I will just be covering those. A little later in the week, So tonight, obviously, Monday Night Football. My Jets are playing. So I'm going to be watching that instead of Raw. So Raw will not be covered this week. I will cover Power, Dynamite, Impact Wrestling, and MLW Fusion on Friday. And then next Monday, probably going to end up covering the rest of the week. So that's Ring of Honor, SmackDown, Rampage, and Collision. If there's nothing else going on. Which I don't think there will be. So, yeah, that is it for me today. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. And let me know what your favorite event match from this event was. Let me know if you're looking forward to Impact 1000. And until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.